if I were to tell you that there is one key skill beyond any other skill you can learn that will be the big game changer to being able to go the distance, to being able to stay the course on the long-term goals, those goals that right now feel so far off, but that you have your eye on, and that you know if you just figure out the right set of principles that you need, the right skills, you can get there. What if I were to tell you that there is one thing that you can do beyond all others that will get you to that goal? And what if I were to tell you that you can learn it now and practice it and use it to make that game changer work for you? Well, that is exactly what we are going to be diving into today on the video. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Maddie. What are we talking about today? We're talking about stamina. Now, you athletes out there, you know that, of course, within your practice, within your training, you need stamina just to get through the day, let alone the match or the tournament or whatever it is in your specific discipline. But I'm talking about stamina when it comes to achieving your goals. So those of you that aren't athletes out there, but you are high achievers and you've got those ambitious goals, that's where this comes into play for you. Stamina is the ability to sustain focus and energy for the duration that it takes to get past the finish line. I'm using that metaphorically, to get past the finish line of your specific goal. Stamina mostly comes into play when we're talking about long-term goals, but of course, any goal needs an element of stamina, and being able to judge how much or how little is required is important and useful in and of itself. But today I want to talk to you about how we develop that ability to sustain our energy and a focus for a long period of time in order to cross that finish line, in order to reach those big goals. Now, I am presupposing that you've got a goal in mind. If you haven't, or you haven't taken the time to really clarify that goal, make sure to check out my other resources, because being able to create a goal that is meaningful, that has all of the parameters of a solid goal that is going to be achievable, has got to be the first step, right? Before you start worrying about how you're actually going to get there, you've got to know where there is. And don't take for granted the process by which you develop that goal, because we know, studies show us, science tells us that the act of setting the goal is actually half the battle. So let's set our sights high and let's figure out how we're actually going to get there. Stamina, this ability to sustain our focus and our energy, comes down to two distinct principles. One is developing your physical strength. What I mean by that is that if you are not taking care of your physical, corporeal body, then you are not going to be able to go the distance. It doesn't matter what your goal is. So if your goal is obviously to do with your athletic pursuits, or within a particular sport, or something to do with your physical training, then of course, it's going to be obvious that you got to take care of your body. However, if your goal is not related specifically to a physical discipline, you still have to take care of your body. It is the vehicle that is going to get you there. And so when I say take care of your body, you need to be attending to your physical needs. What is it you need that is going to keep you in peak physical health? Remember, that's going to change as you age, as you grow, as you adapt to your surroundings, as you adopt new goals, new ambitions. Your physical requirements are going to change. So don't settle with the same training that you did 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, a year ago. It may not serve your current needs. Stay highly attuned to what your body needs from a holistic perspective. But we're not just talking about physical fitness. I'm also talking about what you're taking in, the fuel you are giving to your body, what you're eating and what you're drinking. Make sure you are getting hydrated. If you put the wrong type of gas in the tank of your car, it's not going to get very far. So make sure you are considering what your body needs. What foods are going to make a difference in your energy levels, in your concentration, in all of those things that you need to build up your stamina, to build your ability to go the distance. And the third thing I want to touch on in terms of attending to your physical requirements is rest, is sleep. If you're an athlete, of course, you know that it is during the periods of rest when you get the strongest. That's when all the work that you've put in pays off. Being able to take downtime is absolutely crucial. In fact, it should be no question about it. That should be an absolute must for you, is that you are taking periods of rest. Also making sure, in addition to your periods of rest, that you are actually sleeping enough each night. Again, as your body changes, as we age, as we change our surroundings, the amount of sleep we need will change. So be constantly checking in with yourself. Are you getting enough rest? Are you getting enough good quality sleep? What is the circumstances around your sleeping patterns? And are they aiding you, or are they paralyzing you from being able to deliver your best on a daily basis? Now, of course, there are some situations and circumstances that will mean that you cannot get the rest that you need. Maybe you're a new parent. It's like, Maddie, there's no way I'm getting my 8 hours sleep. Of course not. So then you need to focus in on the other ways you can be attending to your body, or finding the rest, the respite that you can, even if it is not through actual concentrated deep sleep. But be considerate of how much sleep and rest you are actually getting. So those are the three things that you need to be paying attention to when you are building stamina from a physical perspective. That now we shift over to how you build stamina from a mental perspective. You need to consider this as being equally important to what you're doing from a physical perspective. And the way to do this, twofold. You need to make sure that you are getting constant sources of inspiration. Now, I don't necessarily mean just scrolling through trying to find the next inspirational video. Of course, it's great to have, like at the ready, something on your stream to give you a boost of inspiration. But our inspiration can come from so many sources. And the key here is to be open to it, to be actively pursuing sources of inspiration. That can come from anything in culture. That can come from going to a museum, going to a gallery, going to see a show, listening to music. But I'm not just saying switch on the radio. I'm saying being an active participant in what is coming into your body as inspiration. Then, of course, we move on to all the inspirational voices that we could be engaging with. Ever you're going to get inspiration from, understand this, it's not going to be from the same two places in a row. You've got to be open. You've got to open your eyes to see where the inspiration comes from. Sometimes that inspiration is going to come from your child, or from the person sitting opposite you on the train, right? Inspiration doesn't have to have like a formal, hello, I am your inspiration for the day. If you're open to being inspired, then you will find it comes in through all sorts of unexpected routes. And it's your job to be available to it and to embrace it when it does, because that is going to keep your mentality, your mind ready for the long haul. That stamina that we're building, that is where you get it from. And then, in addition to your inspiration, is your mindset conditioning. That's just a fancy way of saying you've got to take care of how you're using your mindset. So in lots of ways, that's going to be about how you think about things, how you use your perspective, how you change your narrative based on what your current needs are. So eliminating negative self-talk, building your sense of discipline, changing the way you perceive the world, allowing for your mindset to be malleable, building your resilience, engaging on a regular basis in mindset conditioning means that you are available and ready for any challenge that comes up. That's not to say that you're going to have like this suit of invincibility and that any challenge is just not going to touch you and you're just going to be like, whoa, I got it, I got it. No, of course, you're going to have hard times. And that's par for the course. And in fact, it's really important that you are prepared and ready for the hard times, because that's how we get through them. If we expect that it's going to be plain sailing and then it's not, of course, that is going to have a massive impact on our ability to continue on down that road. So when you're building your stamina, take concerted time to be developing your mindset, how you think about yourself, how you think about the world, and how you make sense of your place within it. That's what we're talking about in a nutshell when it comes down to mindset conditioning. So why is all of this important? Because those goals of yours are important. And if we just keep working towards our goal without considering the stamina that we need in order to get there, we're going to burn out or we're going to give up short of the mark. So in order to keep going, in order to keep pushing yourself and get to that place so that you can achieve that goal and then start working on to the next one, you've got to have that ability to sustain your energy and your focus to get to the end, to get past the finish line, so that, of course, you can then get ready for the next race, because that is what life is all about. It's about pushing yourself to achieve the things that have the greatest meaning for you. If this video has been helpful today, if you've taken 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 little useful nuggets from it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and also do make use of the free resources that I've put in the description box below, because they are all there for you to use. They're kind of my favorite collection of tools, tips, tricks, techniques to help you build your best life. I'll see you again real soon.